Hello everyone, I'm Ruiting. The theme of this design brief is about health and well-being of aging. In China, with the aggravation of aging, the aged population is growing rapidly. In today's increasingly aging conflict, I realized that most of China's research and policies focus on the problems caused by the physical hurdles of the elderly. The research and design for the elderly's mental health is limited. So the grand challenges I propose is how might we promote the active social participants of the elderly to enhance their self-emotional expression in order to achieve older generations' subjective well-being. The design proposition responses to SDG 3 healthy lives and well-being, with the aim of promotion of the elder's self-emotional expression by designing interactive e-services and installations. Since Nanjing has ranking the third of aging city in China, I would choose this as my design location. I expect diverse stakeholders to provide more sustainable services and design solutions for the mental health of the elderly. I found three precedents about emotional communication of the elderly. The three cases are designed on different dimensions of improving the social interaction of the elderly. Their common advantage is that in terms of emotional interaction design, each scheme is centered on the feelings and experience of the elders. In this way, users can more effectively participate in the use of the product. So next step, I made observations and interviews around my community. Through observations, I recorded the gossip content and status of my neighbors. I found a small semicircular square in the neighborhood that older people often gathered and chat. Most senior citizens in there would participate in the conversation due to the atmosphere around them. So I interviewed 4 of them. In the general sensor description, most of them would say that they were relatively happy. However, when asking the detailed questions such as about their social activities in their daily life, the answer would occasionally contain some negative expressions of like the bored and some nothing to do, something like this. So I created 3 personas around the problems and pain points I found. In addition, journal maps is used to identify the design intervention opportunities. Based on the persona, I creatively 3 users' negative emotions with their daily social activities. I found situations where they were prone to the negative emotions, as well as their pinpoints, such as the lack of the communication with families members and also lack of the diversified social activities. So the habit analyze could more intuitively express the emotional expression problems of the elderly. So first of all, I think some of older people lack the motivation to interact with others. For example, they often think that chatting up with strangers will be awkward. In addition, some old people's age stereotype make them think they are useless. From this, I found the design strategies that include some like the education, shared opinions with others, and also increase the topics and stakeholders. So the first design concept is based on the understanding of the age stereotype. The installation offers an interactive game. The user could select a theme from a word cloud on the screen. So each theme is designed around the story of an old person. So 3 positive labels for the participants to describe the characteristics of their roles in their consciousness. So after finished drawing, the story prototype will be compared with the character that user create. So hopefully in this process, the experiencer could feel the world's boundaries of the aging stereotype. Also, I hope more senior volunteers would be willing to participate and tell their own stories. I made a cardboard prototype for user testing. I met interesting aunt. So when I told her that at the end of the experience, The installation would make a card with her painting and the corresponding story as a souvenir. The auntie said she would prefer to get coupons. So this reminds me that perhaps in future designs, some incentives could also be introduced to attract the author's participation. So the next design is about a public seat where the light interact with the media. So when I realized that many older people also face icebreaking communication problems, I hope that through some way interaction, two people sitting on the same chair could have a neutral communication at the beginning, even if they don't need to say a word. So I imagine if a virtual bird is projected in front of the chair, so when the user sits down, the bird will be startled and fly to the other side. So maybe curiosity would lead to an interesting conversation between two people sitting in the same chair. I hope that the user testing could help me to better understand the problems when the user using the interactive media system. So I've asked the user to reach a target by the physical shadows. I found some elderly people with the knee problems always have a limited movement in their legs and sometimes hard to reach the distant targets. In addition, the walking stick is used to subconsciously by the elderly to touch the target. So next stage, some more sensitive motion capture would be redesigned in this. So the last one is a storybook kit. I expected the elderly to be able to express their feelings and thoughts actively even at home. So therefore, I designed a game box for the elderly and their children to participate in with the help of the both opportunities and the conflicts existing in the intergenerational relationship. So the elderly and their children could restore the appearance of their home 20, even 30 years ago by restoring the display and furniture back to the box space one by one. This may dig more interesting stories as after dinner conversation. So some of the most interesting feedback, such as one from a 20-year-old user who just argued with her grandma about the cardboard placement. I think it's a good start for a family conversation. But similarly, one 10-year-old boy, he may just misunderstand the meaning of this game. So he just seen this as another type of Lego. So he just preferred to place things randomly rather than based on the old stories. So but maybe in the next steps, I hope to improve this design by the personalized design of the game components, so that could fit more stories of the families, and also how think about how to record these valuable family stories. So these are my presentation. Thank you.